What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today is a special day because I'm working out with IFBB Pro Michael Muzo, and he won his pro card recently, actually during the Olympia Amateur in San Marino. He got first place, he did the heaviest weight class, and he won the overall, of course, granting him the pro card. And look at him bench pressing right there. He is really big, but at the same time very aesthetic, which is very rare, which is kinda special nowadays, because a lot of times the big guys aren't aesthetic anymore, but Michael definitely has changed that view. And you will definitely see what I'm talking about later in this video. But anyway, this is basically a recording of us doing an actual chest workout, a serious chest workout, doing mostly the basics and classic exercises. But at the same time, you can see someone recording our sets, our workouts. And this is because this will be a promotion for both of us, but individually. So for me, it will be for a supplement line in the future, because I will be working together with Nutritech, and that is a very great company, actually made by the person standing right there in white, and he knows exactly what's in the supplements. He makes it himself. So it's a company very close by, and he's just very knowledgeable about bodybuilding overall. And I decided to work together with him to create a special line just for Vintage Genetics. So it's in the works, it'll be in the near future. More about that, of course, in detail. And for Michael, it'll be his personal promotion, because he's a Nutritech athlete under the company, so he will be having this video for his own promotion, for guest postings and stuff. But anyway guys, this is a real chest workout, and right now we're doing the heaviest set. Before this we actually did some exhausting chest cable flies to really warm up the chest. Very important to warm up properly before doing the bench press. It is all about the form. As you can see, he goes all the way down as well. To create a full chest, you gotta stretch it all the way down, especially on heavy compounds like the bench press. And this is actually a faster paced workout from what I'm used to, so we're basically really doing these sets back to back. It won't allow us to go as heavy as we can, but at the same time it will give us the maximum pump, which is of course what we want to show on video for the promotion, to create the best possible pump, rushing all the blood into the muscles. And what better way to do that is to do chest, the workout everybody loves to do. As you can see, I'm already struggling a little bit with 140 kilos, still managed to do it 10 times, but I wasn't able to do it as efficiently as normal because we were doing very quick sets. And then we move on to the incline chest press, and this exercise on this particular machine is actually pretty difficult to do. Even the weight that we're doing right here, 30 kilos per arm, is actually already feeling quite heavy to start with. We are properly warmed up though, so that shouldn't be a problem. But this exercise is difficult to do, and that's for one reason: you get a very good stretch and a very good contraction. And you want to make it as hard as possible for you to move the weight if you're able to contract chest to the maximum, because that's how you get a full striated chest. A lot of guys, you know, I've seen Jay Cutler do chest presses, he does it very differently, but at the same time, of course, he's very big, he's very talented, he won the Mr. Olympia, but you can see when you look at his chest that the striations aren't as deep. And in my opinion, you create those deep striations by literally carving them, by contracting as hard as possible. Year after year, if you practice this way of training, you will see the difference between someone who doesn't do that and someone who does. This is going to be the heaviest set. This is, let's see, 45, 55 kilos on each arm. So just imagine that is pretty heavy if you imagine doing dumbbell presses with this kind of weight. So a lot of people, what I see is that they put so much weight on this machine and then they have to, you know, really make some weird movements to move the weight up. You don't see a proper stretch, you don't see a proper contraction, you just see the weight moving up and down without the chest being utilized to the maximum. And I want to use the chest for this movement and as little other muscle groups as possible. That is why using a low weight helps you a lot more if you're able to stretch and contract compared to going very heavy and not being able to properly stretch and contract. Always remember that when you're struggling to build a muscle group, when you have a weak muscle group, just remember, look at your own form and try to decipher whether you are actually stretching and feeling the muscle contract, feeling the pump exist. Because if you don't, there's probably something wrong with your form or you're going too heavy, preventing you to actually properly execute the movement. And these of course are some incline dumbbell flies. I haven't done incline dumbbell flies for a while. I usually do flat dumbbell flies. So these inclines are pretty tough, especially if you go back to back like we're doing right now. And I'm doing these a special kind of way. Normally I wouldn't go all the way up, but this time I'm forcing myself to contract the chest at the top, of course, because that has to be recorded and it just looks better overall. But usually these dumbbell flies are most effective when you leave them stretching at the very bottom and basically skip the very top part because the tension there disappears. Of course you can use the mind-muscle connection and your own contraction to still contract that chest, but there's no real resistance or weight pushing your chest outwards again. So this is the real reason why I'm doing these dumbbell flies, is to really stretch the chest. You can see the striations existing there. Really guys, utilizing the maximum range of motion is what really makes your muscles grow to the max. And this will be the heaviest set. It's only 20 kilos each. But guys, as I always say, if you go too heavy here, you have chance of being injured, you have chance of dislocating your shoulder, ripping your biceps. Even Tom Platz had made the mistake in the past by going too heavy on the flies and actually tearing his bicep, guys. Because if you go too heavy, other muscle groups will assist in trying to do the movement. You always got to remember that when you go too heavy too quickly. So don't go heavy if you don't have to. Only on compound exercises that you're really confident in and where you can actually feel the muscle work. This is the close grip chest press, one of my favorite exercises to really get a good pump in the chest and really get a good contraction. And even when you get a good contraction, you can really feel the pump existing. Don't forget that stretch. You can see, if you look at my chest, the striations in the chest existing both when I'm stretching but also when I'm contracting the chest. That is why and how you can see that the chest is properly utilized.
Ja, dat is moeilijk. Zijn buitenlicht vind ik het allermooist.
And now will be made clear why Michael Muzo is actually a rare specimen of a bodybuilder, and that is only positive, because look at his waist, it is small, yet he is a very massive bodybuilder. Having a small waist immediately makes him aesthetic, and in my opinion he does have classic properties to his physique, which really is something special. You barely see that nowadays with people growing very fast into their physique and actually creating that distended waist that Michael Muzo doesn't have at all, which again is a very rare occurrence indeed. And check out his Instagram, Muzo1986, if you want to check him out and help him along getting more popular in the bodybuilding scene. So the day that this was filmed was actually a medium day of carbs. My low days are about 250 grams, my high days are around the 600 gram mark of carbs, and my medium day, which is today, was about 450. But I usually only have low and medium days and only high days when I really need it, and I had one about a week ago and it really changed my energy levels still to this day, so that really helped me get more energized and get more full. As you can see right here, the pump is getting pretty intense, which is something that I want and which I like, especially near the end of my contest prep. I've made the mistakes many times of not getting full enough on stage, but I'm pretty tall, I have quite a lot of muscle mass, so you don't want to make the mistake by not adding enough carbs in your system, because without the carbs you cannot get the muscles to expand as much as possible, and that is what you want on stage. A lot of people think that with too many carbs and water you will look softer, but actually the muscle will absorb the carbohydrates in the form of muscle glycogen along with water, making the muscle bigger, pushing it against the skin, making you look more conditioned. So right here is a little scene of me using the new IBCA's orange flavor of Vintage Genetics. Very simple ingredient list, simply the most important BCAs to use after training. I have been using these for months only after and post workout and 5 grams before my cardio. It really helps. It keeps the calories off from taking whey protein, but it actually still gives you the muscle building and muscle preserving effects that you need during a deep competition cut. And here you can actually see the quality of this guy, of Michael, that he is a massive bodybuilder, quite tall as well. He is not short at all, just a little shorter than me, and I am about 6'3", close to 6'3", and he just has a very aesthetic and pleasing physique in my opinion. The waist really makes his physique pleasing to look at, and that is something special and rare for someone of that mass. And here we are taking some pictures for my own Nutritech supplement line that actually has a label of Vintage Genetics on it, so it's a very special feeling to actually be in the beginning stages of promoting your own line. I'm really looking forward to this collaboration and see what comes out of it. And I have been using this in my oatmeal every single day, and it hasn't gotten boring at all. I think it is important to actually know the very thing that you're going to promote, and the only reason why I would promote anything is because I believe in it. So anyway, I'm doing some poses right here, really curious how it will come out on a professional video camera, but I have to say I'm pretty pleased with the package right now, keeping it classic, and I definitely gained some pounds, some kilograms over the last couple of months, especially during the lean bulk, and it's always a very nice thing to see what is left after having bulked for a few months. So this lean bulk was definitely a success, still able to hit all these classic poses and while being a little bigger than before. So anyway guys, I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.